Good morning. This is Brad Waller coming to you from my Chevelle, and I'm using my Jawbone headset today because I think I forgot my normal earbuds and left them in the office when I did my last recording, and so you get this, and hopefully it's reasonable. I'm not going to be driving that hard, so the car shouldn't be too horribly loud, since the noise cancellation does not seem to work anymore. Did I say work or did I say week? That's very strange. But what I was going to talk about today is basically how you got to, or how I got to where I am. The question is, how does that relate to you? How did you get to where you are? Education, I think is the basis for how people find where they need to be. And by education, it's not always just school. There is, the trades you have to be educated to do that too. So I'm not talking about high school and college when I say education. It's how you get there. I'm a firm believer that most people should go to college, but not everybody. And those that don't need access to good, low cost or free career technical education. And at this point, I consider career technical education to include programming, web design, as well as heating, ventilation, air conditioning, welding, beauty, veterinary assisting, all that kind of stuff. But how about me? I guess I would call myself highly educated. I don't normally talk about it, but since I'm giving my background and how I got here, I went through the public school system. I have a degree in physics from MIT, and after that, I worked as an infrared system engineer, and that was the perfect job for me. I didn't realize it at the time when they were hiring me, but they saw my background and know what a system engineer does, and they said, hey, it's perfect because a system engineer needs to be a generalist and understand what they're getting when they talk to mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, cryogenic engineers, the whole range. So we've got thermal vacuum testing, so we've got low temperatures, high temperatures, electromagnetic interference, all sorts of interaction between devices, optics, mechanical systems, motors. So it was perfect for me. And I did well there. And while I was there, those skills also helped me from the marketing standpoint. So I got brought into a new business area, and eventually I was the one that would go off and talk to all the engineers and create charts that our vice president would use when he makes his high-level sales pitches. So they would bring in people to brief, 4-star generals, director of the National Reconnaissance Office, sometimes other companies, but generally it was potential clients, and we would go off and have charts that say, well, compared to our competitors that do this, we can do this and make it look better. And so I learned a lot about the beauty of making charts, understanding your customer, having your message tailored for your audience. So I would learn about who the audience was. So for example, if it's a 4-star general, if it's a Air Force general, what's his background? Oh, he used to be a pilot. Pilots are used to getting briefings on 2 screens. So instead of doing a single screen presentation, we do a 2-screen presentation. 1 screen, I don't remember anymore whether it was the left or the right, but I believe it was the left screen has words, the right side does not have words. So on the left side, our charts would have the description, on the right side would be pictures and graphs and things like that. And all I can recall is that my charts were so good that the general requested to take them with him. The only problem was these were classified charts, and printers back then, color printers, dye sublimation printers, took minutes per page to print. So I had literally 20 minutes to go to security, declassify the charts sufficiently so that they would be happy with the declassification and get them printed and get them to the general. And that was very exciting. So I was off doing that marketing job, and then the internet happened. 1993, 1994. My partners, my now partners, had ideas, and they had created the first internet classifieds. And after a couple months of like going on ski trips and being in the car and talking to them, I had lots of ideas for them. I said, well, have you thought about doing this? What about doing that? So they brought me on, and that got me into internet marketing. Well, after a few years of having our site and service working, one of the things that you have in the internet in the early days is what blogs are now. In those early days, everybody had a website, and they would have like little classified sections. They have their email address, and they tell people, just send me an email and I will add your classifieds to my page. After a month, I'll take it off the bottom. Simple kind of a thing. And I looked at that, and I knew that we had classifieds. And I came up with the idea of, why don't we become our own competition by offering them classifieds for free? Or actually, not even just for free. We could give them 30% of all the money that they earned through their classifieds site. So what would happen is, it's their site, it's their users, but they're using our system. We make money, they make money. Well, that turned into an affiliate program after a couple years. So this is 1996, before anybody had thought about this kind of a thing. So pioneered the affiliate programs, got into that. Being an early adopter in the web, I was always on the leading edge of things. And so internet marketing, affiliate marketing, and then, mobile apps. I sort of told that story before, but that basically let you know that, yes, I've got a degree in physics. I used to be an engineer, but I took those skills and turned them into marketing, and then learned internet marketing because there was no class then. So it was my ability to learn that let me do that. So I still credit my education, because if I didn't have that kind of an education and I wasn't taught how to learn, taught how to solve problems, then the fact that I'm doing internet marketing, app marketing, and mobile app development and all that, I don't think would be happening, because I would have been an auto mechanic or a photographer or something like that. And those are things I could have done and could have done well, but they just don't have the same skill set that you needed to do what I'm doing today. And so I got here based on that kind of thing. So what I've learned and my experience and everything else is what got me here today. But it all started with my education, moved through my experiences, moved through my problem solving. I learned the marketing on the job, came into the internet, learned that on the job. But that's how I got here, was I credit the education to everything else. Alrighty, Brad Waller, signing out.